Good morning, dear students. Today, let us continue the class 10, chapter 6, life processes. In that, we have discussed about digestion process taking place in heterotrophs in the last class. Let us continue the chapter. Let us move on to respiration. In the earlier classes, we have studied that whenever we breathe in, we take oxygen and we breathe out carbon dioxide. Now let us understand whether carbon dioxide is present in the air what we breathe through this activity. I will show the video for you. Activity showing that respiration in animals. Materials required: test tube containing lime water, one cork and two bent tubes. Procedure: take the fresh lime water in a test tube, cover with the cork and put the bent tube in both the sides A and B. Through the pipe A, breathe out the carbon dioxide. Exhale the air. So when you exhale the air, see that the pipe A is inserted inside the lime water and pipe B is not touching the lime water solution. What happens after few seconds? The lime water turns milky. That shows that there is carbon dioxide is present in the exhaled air. So from this activity we can conclude that whenever we breathe out, carbon dioxide is released. So that turns the lime water milky. So we have discussed about the nutrition in organisms in the last class. So during the nutrition process, the food materials is broken down into simpler form and then it is absorbed by the body cells to get the energy. So this respiration process is also the part of digestion process. It is one of the life process. The food material taken in during the process of nutrition is used in cells to provide energy for various life processes. So this can be achieved by different ways by different organisms. Some organisms use oxygen to break down the glucose completely into carbon dioxide and water. But some organisms does not require oxygen to break down. Some organisms such as yeast and bacteria, they follow fermentation procedure. Now let us understand what is fermentation method through this video.
Let us demonstrate alcoholic fermentation in yeast. Requirements: 2 test tubes, 2 1/2 corks, sugar solution. Procedure: take some fruit juice or sugar solution in a test tube A. Add some yeast to this. Fit the test tube with a 1/2 cork. Take another test tube B containing freshly prepared lime water. Fit the test tube with a 1/2 cork. Now fit test tube A cork with a bent glass tube. Dip the free end of the bent glass tube into a second test tube. Observation: it is observed that after some time, air bubbles arise and they turn lime water milky, showing that the air evolved is carbon dioxide. Open the cork of test tube containing sugar and yeast. The smell of alcohol is observed. This shows that the products of fermentation by yeast are ethyl alcohol and carbon dioxide.
So now let us discuss in detail about the respiration process. The respiration process is followed by different organisms in different kinds. So we can classify the respiration process into two types based on the requirement of oxygen during the respiration process. That is aerobic respiration, and one more is anaerobic form of respiration. Different organisms follow different ways to break down the glucose into simple energy form. So some organisms use oxygen to break down the glucose completely into carbon dioxide and water, and some organisms do not require oxygen. But in all the organisms, the first step is to break down the glucose, a 6 carbon molecule, into 3 carbon molecule. In the first step, in all the organisms, this step takes place, which is that there is breakdown of 6 carbon molecules into, there is breakdown of glucose 6 carbon molecules into 3 carbon molecules. That is the first step, that we call it as pyruvate. That process is known as pyruvate, and this process takes place in cytoplasm. In all the organisms, this process takes place in cytoplasm. Further, the pyruvate may be converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide. It can be converted into ethanol and carbon dioxide in some organisms, like in yeast. During the fermentation process in yeast, there is conversion of glucose into ethanol and carbon dioxide after the formation of pyruvate. Since this process takes place in the absence of oxygen, the fermentation process takes place without oxygen. So this type of respiration form is known as anaerobic respiration. And the next step, the breakdown of pyruvate using the oxygen takes place in mitochondria. In some organism, there is further more step. There is breakdown of pyruvate using oxygen takes place in mitochondria. So this we can observe in the aerobic respiration. In some organisms like human beings, birds and reptiles, using the oxygen in mitochondria, there is breakdown of 3 carbon pyruvate molecules to give 3 carbon molecules, breakdown to give 3 molecules of carbon dioxide, and the product obtained include water and energy. The product obtained include water, and since the process takes place in the presence of oxygen, this process is known as aerobic respiration. In the aerobic respiration, there is breakdown of 3 pyruvate carbon molecules into 3 molecules of carbon dioxide. There is complete conversion of glucose into carbon dioxide and water and energy. That takes place in aerobic respiration. And since there is complete conversion of glucose into carbon dioxide, the amount of energy released is more compared to anaerobic process of respiration. And this takes place, the aerobic respiration takes place in muscular cell and in all parts of the body. In the human beings, animals and in reptiles and in birds and all, whenever there is lack of oxygen, like when you do some exercise, when you play, that time your muscle need energy. That time the muscle do not get direct oxygen. The oxygen may not reaches the muscular cells. That time there is lack of oxygen. The body require the oxygen. So that time it follow the another pathway. There is breakdown of pyruvate takes place, and the pyruvate is converted into lactic acid, and there is complete conversion of 3 molecules of pyruvate into 3 carbon molecules. So whenever you do the exercise, when you are tired up, when you are playing, there is anaerobic respiration takes place in the muscle cells. That is why after playing, after doing some exercise, we feel the pain. That causes the buildup of lactic acid in our muscles during sudden activity causes cramps. So I can summarize, in all the organisms there is complete conversion of glucose into energy. So but in all the organisms, the first step is conversion of glucose into 3 carbon molecules takes place. That we call it as 3 carbon molecules is known as pyruvate. That takes place in cytoplasm. That process takes place in cytoplasm. And in some organisms such as yeast, bacteria and all, they does not require the oxygen for the respiration. There is absence of oxygen. They follow anaerobic form of respiration. Since this process takes place in the absence of oxygen, there is no complete conversion of 3 carbon molecules into 3 carbon dioxide molecules. The 3 carbon pyruvate will be converted into 2 carbon molecules of carbon dioxide and formation of ethanol. That takes place during the fermentation of yeast. The resultant product in yeast is ethanol, carbon dioxide and energy. That is anaerobic respiration. In the aerobic form of respiration, in the presence of oxygen, there is conversion of 3 molecules of pyruvate into 3 molecules of carbon dioxide and water. Water is produced as a byproduct. There is complete conversion of 3 carbon pyruvate into 3 carbon dioxide molecules. So that takes place in mitochondria. And whenever you do some exercise or when you are playing, the body require more energy. That time the muscle cells does not get immediate oxygen to the all parts of the body. That time it follow anaerobic form of respiration. What happens? There is conversion of 3 carbon molecules, 3 carbon pyruvate into formation of lactic acid and energy. And that causes the cramps. And when we compare the energy released during aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration, the energy released is more in aerobic form of respiration because there is complete conversion of glucose into carbon dioxide. So you can make use of this chart. This chart helps you to differentiate between aerobic respiration and anaerobic form of respiration. As I already told, in aerobic they require oxygen. In anaerobic form of respiration they does not require oxygen. And aerobic form of respiration takes place in aerobic form of respiration takes place in human beings, birds and animals, reptiles, like that. So they have cytoplasm and mitochondria. They use these things. Anaerobic respiration takes place in cytoplasm only. And you already know there is complete breakdown of glucose takes place. But in case of anaerobic form of respiration, there is incomplete breakdown of glucose. The 3 carbon molecules will break down will be converted into 2 carbon molecules. And the end product, in the aerobic form of respiration, carbon dioxide and water. In case of anaerobic form of respiration, there is formation of carbon dioxide and ethanol, or lactic acid. Carbon dioxide and ethanol is a byproduct in yeast and bacteria and some organisms, small organisms. In human beings and all, anaerobic form respiration gives the product lactic acid. Is it clear? Next thing, energy produced. You can compare. In case of aerobic form of respiration, energy produced is more, that is 38 ATP, and in case of anaerobic form of respiration, energy produced is 2 ATP, very less. The energy released during cellular respiration is immediately used to synthesize a molecule called ATP. What is ATP? ATP is the energy currency for most of the cellular processes. The energy released during the process of respiration is used to make an ATP molecule from ADP and inorganic phosphate. ATP is like the how the energy from the battery we can use for different kinds, like that. The battery energy can be used to convert it into light energy, electrical energy, like that. This ATP also can be used for different purposes in the cells, like for the contraction of the muscle cells, for the protein synthesis, for conducting the nervous impulsion. For different activities, this ATP can be used. Since this in aerobic form of respiration, the pathway depends on oxygen, the aerobic organism should make sure that it get sufficient amount of oxygen from the environment. So it takes place in plants also. How? Because there is the plant surface have the stomata. Through the surface through this stomata there is large amount of exchange of gases takes place, and these stomata are directly contact with the air. So there is continuous exchange of gases takes place, and they will respire. The carbon dioxide and oxygen are exchanged by diffusion. The process is very simple. It is just diffusion. Through diffusion process, there is exchange of gases takes place. The direction of diffusion depends upon the environmental condition and the requirement of the plant. What does it mean? It means at night time there is no photosynthesis process takes place. That means there is only respiration process takes place. That means there is intake of oxygen and release of carbon dioxide. There is major release of carbon dioxide takes place during night time. That is why people says that don't sleep under the tree during night time. And during the daytime, the carbon dioxide generated during the respiration is used up for the photosynthesis process. Whatever carbon dioxide is released during the respiration is used up by the plant for the photosynthesis process. So there is no carbon dioxide remains during the daytime. So which is the major task during daytime? The oxygen release is the major task during the daytime. So I can say the diffusion process depends upon the environmental conditions and requirement of the plant. In case of animals, they use different organs for intake of oxygen and to release the carbon dioxide through respiration process. They have different organs to intake of oxygen and to release the carbon dioxide. See, in case of terrestrial animals, they can easily breathe by the oxygen available in the environment, oxygen available in the atmosphere. Have you observed how the fishes are respiring? They will take in water through the mouth, and they will absorb the oxygen from it, and they will release the carbon dioxide through the gill slit. Near the eye, behind the eye, you can see the gill slits. Through the gill slit, they will release the carbon dioxide into the water. So in the water there is little amount of oxygen is present. The oxygen is dissolved in water. That oxygen can be released, that oxygen can be used for the respiration. And the rate of breathing in aquatic organisms is much faster. The rate of breathing in aquatic organisms is much faster compared to the terrestrial organisms. What is the reason? Because on the ground, in the environment, we directly get the oxygen. There is large amount of oxygen present around us, so we can easily breathe in and breathe out. But in water, the amount of oxygen is present in water is less. The amount of dissolved oxygen in water is less. That is why their breathing process is faster compared to terrestrial organisms. So these fishes take in water through the mouth and they absorb the oxygen from it, and they will release the carbon dioxide through the gills. In case of terrestrial organisms, they use oxygen in the atmosphere for their respiration. What happens? They will absorb the oxygen, and they have specialized structure, specialized organ for the respiration process. And these organisms have the complex structure. The organ structure also have the large surface area in order to absorb the oxygen, in order to absorb the gases from the atmosphere, and this surface area is directly contact with the atmosphere. Since they require large amount of oxygen, large amount of air required for the respiration process. So the exchange of gas takes place, exchange of carbon dioxide and oxygen takes place across this surface. This surface is very fine and delicate. And in order to protect this surface, the structure is placed inside the body. The respiratory system is it's protected by other organs. It is protected within the body. In addition to these, there is certain mechanism for the movement of air through this surface. There is certain mechanism, there is certain procedure for the exchange of gas throughout this surface. Now let us discuss about how the respiration process takes place in human beings. You can see in this picture how the respiration process takes place, which are the organs are involved in this respiration process. The respiration process starts from nose. In the nose, nostrils are there. The air enters through the nostrils and it can be passed through the nostrils. Then it will be filtered by fine haze that is present throughout the passage. There is fine air. Since the atmospheric air contains lots of polluted particles, dust particles, this fine air filters the air and it allows the air to enter the passage. After that, through this passage, it will passes through pharynx. There is pharynx. Below the pharynx, there is larynx, and next to it, there is trachea. And it have the rings of cartilage. There is cartilage. C symbol like structure is there. That is cartilage. That helps to maintain the structure. That helps us to maintain the structure when this exchange of gases takes place, when the lungs expands and contracts. So this helps us to prevent the structure from collapsing. And after that, this trachea will be next, it is divided into two parts. That two parts we call it as bronchi. It is the trachea is divided into two parts, right lung and left lung. That is known as bronchi. And further it is divided into small structures, okay, that we call it as bronchioles. Bronchi is further divided into bronchioles. In the bronchioles there is small balloon like structures. There is a wide range of balloon like structures that we call it as alveoli. In the alveoli, the exchange of gases takes place. The process of respiration takes place in the alveoli. So what happens in the process of respiration? The air passes through the nostrils and it is filtered by the fine hairs that is present in the passage of movement of the air. And this passage also contains mucus that helps us to, how in the digestive system in the stomach there is mucus, like that in the respiratory system also there is mucus that helps us to function the process smoothly. From here the air passes through the throat and then it enters the lungs. And this before it entering the lungs, that windpipe we call it as trachea, and in the trachea we can see the C-shaped ring like structure that is known as cartilage, that ensures the air passage does not collapse. So that maintains the structure of the lungs, when there is exchange of gases. And then within the lungs, in the lungs we can see the passage is divided into smaller and smaller tubes. The passage is divided into smaller and smaller tubes that we call it as bronchioles. In the bronchi is divided into bronchioles. And in the finally bronchioles have the small balloon like structures that we call it as alveoli, and this alveoli provides a large surface area for the exchange of gases. The exchange of gases takes place in the alveoli. This alveoli, the walls of the alveoli contains an extensive network of blood vessels. This alveoli contains network of large amount of blood vessels. The alveoli is connected to the large number of network of blood vessels, and this respiratory system was protected by the rib cage. Okay, this lungs is protected by the rib cage and it was placed above the diaphragm. Below the lungs there is one small structure that we call it as diaphragm. One flattened structure is there that we call it as diaphragm. So you might have studied in the lower classes. When we breathe in, the lower part of the chest, that is diaphragm, will be contracted, and this chest cavity, what is chest cavity? The inside the rib cage place we call it as chest cavity, that will be expanded. This diaphragm will be contracted and chest cavity will be expanded. So large amount of oxygen can be sucked into the lungs. Means there is, it will all the alveoli parts, all the lungs, all these surfaces will be expanded to, in order to take in the oxygen, in order to absorb the oxygen from the air. So when this oxygen filled up by this alveoli, the body will be expanded, and the blood brings all the carbon dioxide from rest of the body in order to release through the alveoli. So all the blood collects all the carbon dioxide from different parts of the body to the alveoli, and through this alveoli what happens, this alveoli simultaneously the oxygen in the alveolar air is taken up by the blood in the alveolar blood vessels. the oxygen will be taken up by the alveolar blood vessels, so it can be transported to the all parts of the body, so it can be used for the life process. And during this breathing cycle, the air is taken in and taken out, and there is fraction of time is given to absorb the amount of oxygen and carbon dioxide. It continues rhythmically, and the body maintains certain amount of time in order to breathe in and breathe out this carbon dioxide and oxygen. When the air is taken in and let out, the lungs always contain a residual volume of air, so that there is a sufficient time for oxygen to be absorbed and for the carbon dioxide to be released. Means whenever this process of respiration takes place, there is certain period. The air will enter the respiratory system, the alveoli, and it gets the sufficient time to absorb by the blood vessels, and the blood vessels will take in the carbon dioxide, and they will leave out. That means whenever alveoli absorb the oxygen, oxygen will be remain for certain time, and the blood vessels will transfer into all parts of the body, and they will absorb the carbon dioxide from the all parts of the body, and they will take in and pass through the nostrils. All these process takes place within a fraction of second. All this process takes place simultaneously, and they will get the sufficient time to exchange the gases. Since the body size of the animals is large, the diffusion process is not enough to carry out the process in order to carry out the oxygen to all parts of the body. So there should be some other substances required to carry out this respiratory process. So in the animals, there is respiratory pigments. This take up the oxygen from the air in the lungs and carry out it to the tissues which are deficient in oxygen before releasing it. So in the body, there is respiratory pigments that take up the oxygen from the air, and they will take into the lungs and helps us to supply it to all the tissues of the body. In the human beings, the respiratory pigment is hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is the respiratory pigment, and which is very high affinity for oxygen. Oxygen is required more. It requires more oxygen. This pigment is present in the red blood cells. This pigment, hemoglobin, is present in red blood cells. And this carbon dioxide is more soluble in water than the oxygen. So it can be transported in the dissolved form in our blood. Since the carbon dioxide is soluble in water compared to oxygen, so it can be easily transported from all parts of the body through the blood. So this is how respiratory process takes place in our body. Okay, till now we have studied about how the respiratory system works in the body. Let us learn about how the transportation system works in the body. Which is the transportation material in the body? Let us learn in the next class. Okay, thank you students.